star, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go.
Hello everyone. After my morning's ritual, I got some downloads that I'd like to come on and share with you. The topic for this particular message is the word betrayal. The spirit notices deception but disregards it and equates it to illusion. I took some notes because I did go into a meditative state after the ritual that gave me some more downloads. And then I'm also going to pull some cards today. I know you guys haven't seen me pull cards in a while, so get ready. Also wrote down the definition of betrayal, which is the action of betraying one's country, group, or a person. So I want you to think about that definition for a while and see if anything comes to mind when you hear that. Whether the betrayal is what you have experienced from an individual outside of yourself, or rather there be some self-betrayal that you need to look into in order to make sure that you're honoring your own wants, needs, and desires and giving yourself the energy that you need to pursue your goals. An honest enemy is always better than a friend who lies. Pay attention to what people say and even more attention to what they do. Their actions will always show you the truth. In my meditation, I heard the words nationwide fear and illusion. I know that there are some Neptune transits and Pisces transits that are causing some confusion and some chaos and maybe even some illusions, showing us the deception and betrayal on air, on live, on the web, on social media. I wouldn't be surprised if some story comes out or some news comes out that causes nationwide fear. And in the midst of that time, I'd like for you to remember that a lot of what is going on is an illusion. So it's best for you to create your own thoughts and feelings based off of what you can trust and to use your discernments, okay? I also heard the song I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. And in this song, Johnny Nash says, I can see all of the obstacles in my way. It seems that some of you were stuck simply because you were unaware of the truth in your situation. You didn't have all of the information you needed to proceed. Imagine being stuck on an escalator. Even when an escalator stops working, you can still make it to your intended destination by simply placing one foot in front of the other. Some of you were stuck in an illusion that made you unsure or uncertain of your path. I am here to encourage you. It is safe for you to move forward with caution and discernment. Just as life can place an obstacle in your way, it can also open a new door filled with many opportunities, but you must be at the vibration to receive it. Now I will pull some cards to further provide insight and guidance. And although this message may not resonate with everyone, I do offer private readings to provide individual guidance as well. All right, let's get started. Today's reading, I'm going to tap into the zodiac signs. So each zodiac sign will have their own message from this deck, which is like your basic Rider-Waite deck, which gives mindful practices and ways to manage the stress and regulate your emotions so that you can have a better experience. So first things first, let's tap into that Aries energy, not Aries. I know that you guys are mainly all fire and can't nobody tell you what to do except you, but I think it's time for some of you guys to start listening more than you talk. It's time for you guys to kind of slow down and reevaluate your steps because I get the feeling that some of you guys are moving way too fast. Y'all trying to run up the escalator and then you fall and you trip because you put your place because your shoes untied. Okay? So we got to move forward without moving too fast. What messages do we have for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Please give me accurate insight and guidance for Aries. All right, we got one card here. Ooh, you got 2 cards. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to put these right here, and I'm going to pull the card from this other deck, and we'll see what message. Maybe it won't be too much shuffling, okay? So this is what I was talking about. Y'all see how fast that card flew out? That's how fast you trying to go. See, I didn't even get to ask the tarot the question. Connection. I didn't even get my word in, and I feel like that's what's going on with you. Before you know all the details, you guys are ready to pursue. You guys are ready to take action. You guys are ready to sign contracts and deals before even noticing that there are some errors in the situation. While Mercury is in retrograde, we sometimes experience certain slip ups in communication. And that's what you need to pay attention to, because sometimes those slip ups could be intentional to get one over on you. Sometimes these slip ups are just simple misunderstandings, and we have to take the time to correct them. So, with this Page of Pentacles, I'm encouraging you to start that new idea, start that new thing, pursue that passion that you wanted to pursue, but pursue with caution. Pursue with your material status in mind, too. Don't spend more than what you're making right now. That is not the best decision for you. Perhaps when a lot of these places, perhaps when a lot of these planets station direct, it will be a better time. For your DBT cards, you have improve. Encouragement is needed to get through the tough times in life. What you say to yourself will influence what you feel. Coach, cheerlead, and affirm yourself with your self-talk. Take this time to write down 5 to 10 statements you can practice when the chips are down. So y'all snacking. So it's time, all right. So get your notebooks out. It's time for you to write down those statements. They can be things like, I got this, all crisis past. My skills will get me through. You need to take the time to self-encouragement, give yourself that pep talk. And I know Aries is very good at doing that, because can't nobody boost you up like you can boost yourself up, Aries. Y'all just walk with that level of confidence. You have ground yourself. Sometimes distress checks us out of the moment. If you start feeling unreal or are drifting out of the moment, try some of the following grounding skills. Observe and describe who and what is around you now. The more detail, no matter how small, the better. Work your senses. Name what you see, hear, smell, and touch right here and right now. I want y'all to come back and watch this, Aries, when you need to take the time to ground yourself, because this is going to be very important. It's going to stop you from getting too ahead of yourself or taking action when you need to fall back and look for more information, right? Breathe slowly and deeply, saying the word here to yourself as you breathe in, and the word now as you breathe out. Another thing you can do is get up and move your body mindfully, noticing the connection between your movement and the physical environment. Those are 4 grounding activities that you can do. But you can also go and find a grounding meditation, use grounding herbs, or just do some research on what other grounding activities that you can do. But if you ain't did at least these 4, don't come back. Don't come back. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to Taurus. All right, so Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What messages do you have for Taurus? Taurus, the first card that flew out here was the Eight of Cups in reverse. And while we talk about this particular energy, I'm going to shuffle and get some more messages from the DBT deck. But Taurus, let's talk about this. The Eight of Cups in reverse shows that maybe you're looking back. The Eight of Cups in reverse says, hey, you're focused on the past. Why are you focused on the past? What is triggering you from the past? What do you need to go back and reevaluate or reassess or get some clarity on? Because you can't look back for too long. Sometimes we have to look back at our past to learn a lesson or to understand something in its entirety. But if you look back for too long, you're going to be set back. So you have to decide what you're going to do. What messages do you have for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Don't get stuck in your head about a situation or a person that you see coming back around in your life, okay? Especially if they showed you certain actions in the past. Like, this is that energy that I'm getting where you got this person, situation, or energy that's coming back around from the past. And yes, we know that that is something that happens during Mercury retrograde, but that makes this resonate even more that we are currently experiencing this transit. You have the card of practice self-care daily. Self-care only works if it is a daily habit. Today is the time to make better choices for your health. Make 3 specific healthy commitments. Write them down and share them with friends or family, then follow through. So with this, it's reminding me that this card seems to want you to redirect your energy and attention to yourself. Try not to be so focused on the past that you are actually living in the past. If that makes sense. It seems as though maybe some of you have been through reoccurring cycles, and the energies that are around you are very familiar situations and familiar people. So it's easy to kind of put you back in that vibration that you used to be in. But with self-care, daily practices, and routines, you will be able to enhance your quality of life and to know yourself a little bit better, to trust yourself a little bit better, so that way you can make decisions about the past and move forward. Taurus, that's what I have for you. Now we're going to move on to Gemini. Gemini, as I tuned into your energy, I heard the words chatty Cathy. Y'all need to talk a little bit less and less about other people's business. Gemini, I feel like sometimes you have good intentions, but it doesn't always end up so well, and it puts you in real messy situations. So it's time for you to hold back on the drama and the gossip. Whether that drama or gossip is coming from individuals outside of yourself, or that's something that you choose to participate and get involved with, okay? Pull back from it. Card that flips over was the Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords is a card that represents the air element, which includes the air signs, Aquarius, Libra, and you, Gemini. So, the Four of Swords for me is a card that says we need to pay more attention to our body, to our auric field, to our recovery, to our health. That includes your mental, your spiritual, and your physical health as well. So let's see what message the DBT deck has for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You guys have 2 cards, and they are asking you to be assertive. Assert by asking or by saying no. Write down your direct and clear assertion on your script and rehearse it. So this is saying, hey, Gemini, I know y'all entertaining, so maybe it's time for you to do a little role play so that when you're put in the situation, in your reality, you've already practiced the way that you're going to respond to it, so that way you don't have to get out of character. Gemini, when these people invite you places, or these people try to put you in situations that are no good for you, or they are involving people whose energy doesn't quite match yours, or that you feel some type of way about, you have to practice saying no. You need to start saying no. Not every fun time that you're invited to is something that you need to go to, especially when the Four of Swords cards pulls up and shows us that you need to be more worried about your own self and your own health. And for me, it's saying more of your mental health, because the mental state is associated with the air elements. So where are you? Are you too airheaded, or do you need to ground? You also have another card that talks about self-care, and we're using the pleased method, which is a very effective emotional regulation skill that relates to self-care. In dialectical behavioral therapy, self-care is captured in the pleased acronym. P standing for physical health, comes from going to the doctor as needed and following treatment recommendations. And we just talked about your physical health. L, list resources and strengths. E, eat healthy foods in a balanced way. A, avoid drugs and alcohol. S, sleep enough to feel good. E, exercise every day. And D, daily practice makes the difference. It's time for you to put that energy into yourself. That's what I have for you, Gemini. Next, we are going to Cancer. Cancer, for some reason, as I tap into your energy, I'm hearing a specific song from Frozen, and I think it is the Let It Go song. So perhaps there's some emotions that you need to let go and let flow. Because if you don't and you restrict these energies cause you stagnancy in your body, in your auric field, and in your manifestations. What message do we have for Cancer? We Cancer now, 2 cards popped out, and I want you to be very, very, very alarmed here, because you do have some swords energy that surrounds you. Now, this could be an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, but it is not limited to just those signs. So listen to the qualities or the energies of these particular cards. Now, the Seven of Swords is a very sneaky individual. You never really know what they're doing. Somebody around you could be very sneaky, or you're uncertain of what it is that you're hearing from them. It's like things are not matching up. Maybe this person is saying something, but it doesn't sound like all the way that it does not sound like it's the truth, not the whole truth. You also have the King of Swords, which represents a person who's mentally capable of manipulating situations. The King of Swords can also represent a governmental official, or someone who is in high regard, or someone who's looked at in high regard, or has a very high political status, or like a CEO, a higher position, or maybe they are appearing as though that they have those qualities. That's all I'm getting about this particular person, but you need to be aware that there's an individual outside of yourself who may have ulterior motives. So make sure that you're listening to your intuition, okay? Let's pull a card from the DBT deck to give you a mind practice. What message do we have for Cancer? Sun, Moon, and Rising. Cancer. Cancer, you have the vacation card. Vacation means taking a break from your crisis or the other stressors of life. Breaks need to be planned. This means that you need to schedule a walk in the park, an afternoon or evening of your favorite shows, or 5 minutes of quiet. Time to breathe, reflect, or just stare at the wall. Give yourself a break wherever you need to refresh and rejuvenate, okay? That's what I have for you, Cancer. Now we're going to move on to Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. How are you doing, my fiery lions? Although you guys display such a courageous attitude, sometimes people don't understand what happened in your life for you to build this courage, what happened in your life for you to be able to give the type of advice that you give. Even though I'm thinking of the lion. And one thing that I know about the lion spiritually, especially after studying Durga Ma, which if you haven't, you need to go learn a little bit about her, okay, if you're interested in occults or metaphysical things. Because Durga Ma is usually depicted mounted upon a lion. And the lion is one of the animals who has the strongest throat chakra. And when they roar, not only does it heal the ground, but it sends out a sign to other entities that are negative around that individual to get gone. Just that, by opening your mouth alone. And that's what some of you guys need to do. Some of you guys have a very powerful power when it comes to your throat, your words, or your petitions. If you're doing any magical work, make sure you're reading your petitions out loud and you're saying it with that same courage that we talked about at the beginning of this reading. You do have the Hangman, which tells me that, hey, you might feel like you're stuck in a certain situation, but this stuckness is actually going to provide you with some spiritual insight or wisdom. See, the hanged man is someone who's seeing things from a different perspective because he's upside down. He has no choice but to see things from a different perspective. So when you feel like you're at the bottom of that hill, or you feel like you're going through some turmoil, or you feel like life is being life right now, you need to look at it from a different perspective and look more at the lessons that you have already learned, rather than feeling neglected by the universe. I don't know why I heard that specifically, that there's a Leo out here that feels neglected by the universe, or that feels, I don't know why that neglect word is coming up, right? But I truly hope that it resonates. So let's get a message for my Leos from the DBT deck. What mindful practice or way can Leo manage their stress at this time? Here we go. Your card flew out and it says, appear confident. Pay attention to your posture and other body language, as well as your tone and the volume of your voice. And this is just confirmation because I talked about your throat chakra and the power of your words. A good strategy is to think about a confident person you know and act as if you are that person. Practice the role play until you project confidence. It's time for you to step back into that energy. And for some of you, I don't want you to visualize a person that you think is confident. I want you to visualize and work with that lion energy or lioness. We're tuning into the energy of Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What message do we have for Virgo? Virgo, it's time for you to quiet any mental chatter, because I feel as though there could be a lot going on in your head, or a lot of different thoughts that are hitting you. And sometimes these thought forms can be negative thought forms. So you really need to pay attention to that and make sure that you're not allowing yourself to reaffirm or rethink the same thoughts that are slowly causing you to feel mentally handicapped, or that you cannot make the decisions you need to make. Don't let yourself put yourself into a situation in which the mental chatter takes over and that delays your actions. Okay, you have the Six of Pentacles that came out as your card. The Six of Pentacles talks about having that balance. The Six of Pentacles talks about having your energy reciprocated. And you need to make sure that the energy that you're putting out is energy that you want back. Because when I see this Six of Pentacles, not only does that say, hey, make sure you're not giving a lot of your time and your energy to something that's not, trying to put no time or energy into you. It's not just as simple as that for me. For me, this is also saying make sure the energy that you're outputting is the energy that you want back. Because if you acting nasty and rude, or you got an attitude with somebody else, just know that it's going to be a bigger and better attitude that may come to you. So you have to I want you to pay attention to yourself in the way that you're acting, because I kind of feel like you're coming off rude to other individuals, and what you're saying, you might be saying in such a way where there's not a lot of emotion, that people feel like you got a funky attitude, or that you're being kind of rude. I hope that resonates. So I hope that makes sense. Just pay attention to the way you're treating people, okay? What message do we have from the DBT deck for Virgo? Virgo, you have two cards. So one of these cards talks about accepting, or the acronym accepts specifically, which contains skills that keep you busy and distracted when you would otherwise be preoccupied by a crisis. It can be easy to dwell on what is going wrong. So instead, focus on behaviors and accepts to get yourself through difficult times. I want to see if I can find the card that describes the accepts acronym. It can be easy to dwell on what is going wrong. So instead, focus on the behaviors of the acronym accepts to get yourself through difficult times. Now, accepts is spelled ACCEPTS, and that first A represents activities. Staying busy with activities keeps your mind off your problems and your behaviors focused on the healthy and helpful. The C represents contributing. Contribute to other people as a way to take the focus off yourself and off your problems, to feel connected and useful, and to create positive feelings. Quick examples include doing favors, writing thank you notes, baking treats to share, or finding a volunteer position. The second C in accepts talks about you drawing healthy comparisons between yourself and other people. We only have to turn on the news to realize that there are people without necessities who have suffered unthinkable tragedies or who have tremendous obstacles to overcome. Remembering that others suffer too, often in worse ways, allows you to have perspective and even feel grateful that you don't have those problems. The E in accepts represents emotions, and emotions flow from what we do. Change your behavior to create a different emotion. If you're depressed, get into behaviors that lift you. When you're anxious, get into behaviors that relax you. And when you're angry, get into behaviors that calm you. The P in accepts talks about pushing away means putting your problem on hold for a period of time. Say to yourself, there is a tomorrow problem. Say to yourself, this is a tomorrow problem, okay? Not today. We ain't dealing with this today. We're going to try again on Friday, okay? Sometimes you got to tell yourself that, pushing away certain things so that you can have the time to regulate your own emotions and to reduce stress. The T in accepts talks about your thoughts. You cannot think about two things at once, so direct your thoughts to the helpful. The last letter S represents sensations. Distract yourself with healthy sensations. Get up and dance to loud music. Suck on some sour candy or a lemon slice. Take a hot or cold bath, even a spiritual bath, which I do sell on my website, okay? Or deeply inhale a strong but pleasant scent, such as peppermint. We're going to go ahead and move on to my Libras. Libra. All right, Libras. Libras, you have the Nine of Pentacles. It's time for you to proceed with something that is going to involve your finances or your stability. The Nine of Pentacles is a card that represents Earth as well as Earth energies like Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. So one of those people could play a significant role in your life right now, especially when you're trying or doing something new or experiencing something new, right? The Knight represents a card of travel. So some of you guys could be traveling to relocate, traveling to a new state, or even traveling for business matters. Now we're going to get a message from the DBT deck. You have the card that talks about improvements. It says that Viktor Frankl, who is a founder of the existential therapy, once said that if there is a why, then a person can figure out the how. List and contemplate your whys for working on an issue in your life. Why is it safe? Why practice your skills plan? Why work on your self-care? Why make this move? Why travel to this place? Why involve yourself in this business? Having meaning motivates your whys and will motivate your action. Don't forget to list the pros and the cons of your why. And come back and comment and let me know if you did the work, okay? So next, we're going to tap into the Scorpio energy. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Scorpio, you have three cards that came out here, and they include the Three of Cups, the Star card, and the Hermit card. I feel as though you will experience a lot of different emotions, and there's also a need for you to have some solitude. Like, I feel like you enjoy being out with people, you enjoy celebrating, you enjoy being with friends. Three of Cups energy here. There may be events that you get invited to, but I also feel like you need to explore your independence and spend some time alone, because there's some manifestations that need to happen. There's some opportunities coming in with the Star card, and you have to be ready to shift into that energy. And I feel as though I should warn you of other people's energy around you. Not saying that they have a bad or negative intent or against you, but maybe they're going through certain situations and their vibration could weigh you down, or you could get invited to do something, and I feel like you could just be drained by other people who are around you, energetically drained. All right, Star card and the Hermit. And we're also going to pull a card from this DT deck to help provide us with some tools on mindful practices and ways to manage stress during this time. What does Scorpio need to know here? Scorpio. Scorpio, you have the Validate card. Validation communicates a non-judgmental understanding of another person's experience. Consider these questions and suggestions when you practice validation with another person. 1. What is this person feeling, thinking, or experiencing? Look for both verbal and nonverbal clues. Ask if you need more information. 2. What is behind the experience for the person? Discover the context of his or her situation. See the situation through his or her eyes. Be in his or her shoes so that you can understand them a little better. 3. Communicate your understanding, showing compassion and concern for the other person. That's what I have for you, Scorpio. Next, we're moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, as I tap into your energy, I heard two songs. One of them is Friends. How many of us have them? Friends, ones we can depend on. And the other one is Fake Friends. No, not Fake Friends. Publicity Stunt by Gucci Mane. So, is there a person in your friend group who's trying to pull up publicity stunt? Is there a friend that doesn't feel like a friend? Or is there a friend around you that you feel like you can't depend on? There's something about friends, the people outside of yourself who are coming up in your reading. What message do we have for our Sagittarius friends? Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Sagittarius. Go listen to that song, City Stunt by Gucci Mane. You have the Tower card. Now, the Tower card represents some unexpected things happening in your reality. Something that kind of shifts, something that kind of throws you for a loop. It's that thing that you didn't expect. So expect. The unexpected is what I like to say when I see this Tower card, because in this Tower card we see two people jumping from this tower that seems to have caught on fire, and the very foundation of this tower is shaken up. So the very foundation of your friendship or relationship with another individual could be getting shaken up at this time. The very foundation in which you live in, your stability, your home environment could be shaken up a little bit. Expect the unexpected is what I'm getting for you. I'm also going to pull out a card from my DBT deck, which gives us tools on how to manage stress. You have two cards, right? One of them talks about staying mindful of and focused on your goals. Do not allow yourself to get sidetracked or dragged into another conversation. Repeat your request over and over if you think that strategy will work. Have your role play partner try to get you off your game, but stick to your goals. So what is distress tolerance? Comment that. If you said Sagittarius, comment that below. What is distress tolerance? I'll answer. Many people cope with stress and crisis by getting into behaviors that provide relief, but at a great cost. Examples of these ineffective behaviors include alcohol and drug use, self-injury, gambling, spending money, and overeating and overreacting. As an alternative, we can learn and practice skills to manage stress and crisis in ways that help without having after effects that make our lives worse. To start, make two lists. List one is your ineffective coping behaviors, and list two is your healthy coping behaviors. Everyone has at least a few healthy coping behaviors. Okay, even if it's just you making yourself laugh, even if it's you blowing bubbles, do what you gotta do. Your goal is to eliminate the behaviors on the first list while developing the behaviors on the second. Scorpio, Sagittarius, you're going to have to tell me what's going on and if this message resonates with you. So leave me a comment below and let me know. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to our Capricorn friends. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, this message is for you. What message do we have for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising that will resonate with them? Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What message do we have for Capricorn? You have a card that flew out, but I feel like there's one more message for you, so I'm going to keep shuffling. Maybe not just one message. You got 4 cards, and I'm going to take it because I got the confirmation at the bottom of the deck of that earth energy. This card is the 10 of Pentacles. Your main focus right now is your foundation and your family, and that's where it's going to be. Let's see what's going on with that, though. These 4 cards, we have the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the 8 of Pentacles. Baby, there is a match made in heaven for some of y'all, and baby, this is a match made in heaven for some of you guys. Some of you guys are in a harmonious relationship with someone, and you guys are starting to understand each other on a deeper level, especially when it comes to your emotions, okay? The King and the Queen of Cups, okay? You're exchanging emotions with your partner, and if you're not, this is something that you need to participate in doing because, like I said, y'all coming out as each other. Y'all coming out in the same suit. And Capricorn, I feel like this is really important for you because as an earth sign, people say that you're not as emotional as the water signs. And the cups is what the water sign represents. The cups represent the water sign. So for you to come out as a cup is saying, hey, we are invested into our emotions and our feelings. Hey, we're investing time into understanding the emotions and feelings of our peers or our loved ones. Okay, you have the Queen of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. Ain't nothing gonna get you off your game when it comes to money. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who's creating something in raw form that can manifest as material abundance. So there's a financial shift coming, even if you feel like you do not see it. Capricorn, please stay on your game. This ain't the time to leave your job to look for a new job unless a life-changing opportunity presents itself. The 8 of Pentacles is saying you building off something. You're making money. You're investing time and energy into something that is going to pay off. And it's time for you to stick with that so that new opportunities can come about in that same aspect or potentially like a raise or a promotion here. Growth. There's growth happening in your finances and you better believe it. Now, I'm going to pull a card from my DBT deck on ways we can manage stress or be mindful at this time. What message do we have for Capricorn? Capricorn. All right. Here it is, Capricorn. You have taste. The key to self-soothing with taste is to eat a small amount of food, one mindfully ideally engaging all of your senses. Take a single chocolate or mint or half a cup of ice cream, or better yet, a healthy food such as a slice of apple or orange, and savor the experience. Time yourself to see how long you can draw out the experience, truly immersing yourself into it. So it's time for you to tap into the sense of taste, using that mouth, what that mouth do. And for some of y'all, it's going to mean something totally different. Y'all ain't eating no apple slices. You eating somebody pie, but it ain't apple pie. And for others of you, you guys are just going to learn how to savor the moment and to enjoy yourself. I've got a good one. I like yours. Next, we're going to move on to my Aquarius friends. How you doing, Aquarius? Are you ready for Pluto to transit into Aquarius? I encourage you to do some research about that transit so you can see what's going on, because 2023 is coming soon. All right. What do we have for my Aquarius friends? What do they need to know at this time? I'm going to get you one more, but look, Aquarius, I received this card earlier today, and in the same position for another zodiac sign. And this card is the Eight of Cups. This Eight of Cups is in reverse, which goes right along with that Mercury retrograde energy. So, I know people look at Mercury retrograde as a negative thing, but it can be a positive thing depending on your own perspective. So you need to make sure that whatever comes back around from your past, whatever energy presents itself in a different person or at a different time in a different space that aligns with the energy you previously experienced, you pass your test. I hope that made sense. Basically, what I'm telling you is there's going to be something that happens in your life that triggers or reminds you of an experience you've had in the past, whether it be with a certain person, place, or thing. It's a past energy, and you have to make a choice to be truthful and honest with yourself about your particular situation or about the steps that's needed to be taken, because you have the Ace of Swords. Now, swords represents the air element, which is you, Aquarius. You are an air sign. So clarity and truth are very important here. If a situation that you lied about in the past come back around, you need to tell the truth. You need to be open and honest, because if you was open and honest enough to do what you did, you can be open and honest enough to say what you did to whom you need to say it to. And for some of you guys, I feel like there could be an apology coming from a person in the past, or perhaps some clarity about a situation that happened in the past. Maybe you fell out with a certain individual and you didn't really understand why. There could be some clarity or truth coming out about that. But the main thing here seems to be about clarity and truth and open and honest communication. So there's some communication coming in for some of you guys about the past. I really hope that resonates with you. Now I'm going to pull a card from my DBT deck to give you a mindfulness activity or a practice that you can do to de-stress, okay? What message do we have for Aquarius? What activity would best suit Aquarius at this time? You have two cards. The first card talks about improving the moment. The skills in the acronym improve make life a little better when it is at its hardest. When in a crisis, you have a choice between sinking into your distress or investing in behaviors that might improve how you feel in spite of everything. Especially during those tough times, strive to improve in the moment. And let's talk about improve and what it stands for. The I in improve stands for imagery. And imagery is a powerful thing. Imagine yourself on a beach and your blood pressure will drop and your muscles will relax simply because your mind has conceived your body, simply because your mind has convinced your body that you are there. The M in improve talks about meaning. Viktor Frankl, a founder of the existential therapy, once said that if there's a why, then a person can figure out the how. List and contemplate your whys for working on any issue in your life. The P in improve stands for prayer. Prayer provides connection, peace, guidance, and a ritual that calms. Say a prayer or go to your place of worship or connectedness. This skill can serve you anytime, any place. So plug into your spirituality and say a prayer. For those of you who are spiritual, I encourage you to light a light candle and call upon the highest version of yourself or your highly elevated ancestors who have your best interest at heart, or a spiritual guide, your Lawayo and Kisi, your spiritual guardian, your angelic guardian, or your moral guardian, or your soul guardian. There are many different spiritual energies that you can tap into that are a part of your spiritual team who are here to guide you, and it's time for you to call in that guidance. Some of y'all need to write y'all petitions. For the R, you have the R in improve stands for relaxation. Relaxation is a human need. What do you do to relax? Or what do you think could be relaxing? O. The O in improve talks about do only one thing in this moment. When we open up to too many applications or too many activities, we slow down or crash, just like our electronics. Pick the application you want and do that one activity. The V in improve stands for vacation. Vacation means taking a break from your crisis or the other stresses of life. Breaks need to be planned, okay? So schedule a walk to the park, go outside, or have an afternoon where you enjoy your favorite television shows or watch something new. Take time to breathe and reflect, even if you gotta just stare at a wall. If that's what you got to do, stare at the wall. You'd be just surprised what you might visualize or what type of imagery that your brain comes up with as to clues of what you should do in your situation. The E in improve stands for encouragement. Encouragement is needed to get through the tough times in life. What you say to yourself will influence what you feel. So make sure that you're giving yourself the best of you. Make sure that you're hyping yourself up every day, even if you don't feel like there's a reason to be hype, okay? Next, we're moving on to Pisces. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. What message do we have for Pisces? So you have one card out. It's the Ace of Swords. Truth and clarity needs to happen for you guys, Pisces. It's time for you to be very clear about what it is that you want, because I feel like in the past you keep saying that you're going to leave a certain situation, leave a person alone, leave a job, leave an energy that you're still attached to. So you're going to have to make that choice and make that decision about if you're going to continue to move forward, because we just experienced the full moon in Pisces. So you should have released something. But I feel like some of you guys are continuing to hold on to it simply because it makes you comfortable. It's time for you to get uncomfortable, Pisces, and be true to yourself and honor your feelings. What message do we have for Pisces? This is my DBT deck, and it provides us with mindfulness practices as well as ways to de-stress. So what do we have for Pisces? Sun, moon, and rising. Pisces, you have opposite to emotion for anger. Anger causes us to go on the attack. Resist this urge by avoiding the person you are angry with until your anger calms. Address situations that feed anger only when you are in your wise mind. If you struggle with ongoing frustration and anger, counteract these emotions by choosing to be actively nice toward others. That's what I have for you, Pisces. I thank all of you for staying tuned and watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're ready for a personal reading, visit my website down below to book. Have an amazing day or night whenever you're watching.